So then we ride on board for the start of the race. We get underway then. We're on the board of the Davies and Rundle car. Now how Citreon 2CV racing works is you have a pair of drivers and the majority of cars sharing. One driver does one race while the other does the other. Unfortunately up in the commentary box here we don't get given who starts each race. So some of the ones we have to guess. Some we do actually know. The car behind there is Sammy Fritley, the lady racer. We know that she has started her car. Right behind is one of the Hollises there, looking up on the inside into Brooklands, and I think Matthew Hollis it is who's gained a position there. A good start from him. Just behind there, drifting out wide, are the Story Machine. And now we've put the power on. If you can say that in a Citreon 2CV, as they head down the Wellington Straight. Now these cars not being very fast, but the slipstream is absolutely vital in them, and so is momentum. It's incredible racing Citreon 2CV produces, and you'll see that in the next 20 minutes. And look at them all; they all head past the BRDC grandstand then, and like I say, we'll try our best to try and work out who is driving each car, but they head through this long train through Luffield. We think it's Wayne Cowling in the car in second, following who we think is Phil Myatt driving the leading machine. Then is that Sammy Fritley there in third? Yes, and our onboard camera runs in fourth. Who we think, we're not sure if it's Rundle or Davies. We think it may be Rundle though, as they head now down towards Copse Corner for what will be the second time of this race. Standing still start, 1 minute 35 lap. So into Copse Corner, and this contact further behind. One car gets a massive moment on and spins out, and another one goes round. We've had two spinners there at Copse Corner. Trying to identify for you in the commentary box. Now we think one of them is the 21 machine, and that of course is somebody who's just fallen off time sheets. There he is. James Sutcliffe is in the 21. They think the other car that went round is Steve Jacks. Now the problem of course is spinning these two CVs is it takes so long to get the momentum back, especially around a corner like Copse. It's so fast in any car, especially these almost flat out pretty much. Right, we head down towards Brooklands and into the left-hander, and it's Ainsley Balfield that's gone to the front. We think it's him driving, or it may be Wayne Cowling. We're not exactly sure, but Sammy Fritley's gone ahead of Phil Myatt, who's now dropped down to third, of course, as they exit Luffield and go down to Woodcote then to complete another lap of this race. That'd be lap 2, of course. Now we can ride back on board with our onboard camera. Superb footage here we are getting of this race as they head now down towards Copse Corner, like I say. And I think that is the Story Machine still following us then. Yes it is. And by about a second, and then Matthew Hollis there trying his hardest to get ahead but can't do that. Alec Graham sitting behind him. We head now down towards Mackett's and Beckett's, one of the biggest braking zones in the 2CV. Get down the gear, and then we build the momentum back up again as we head down towards down the Wellington Straight and down towards Brooklands. Of course, the most famous Citreon 2CV race of the year takes place this year on the August bank holiday weekend. Saturday to Sunday it'll be at the Snetterton 200 circuit round for 24 hours, but we've gone past, we've gained a position, but now coming back is the Cowling and Belfield car, whichever driver is in it. He gets I'm sorry, they've both gone past Sammy Fritley, haven't they? Sammy Fritley's down to 4th. Phil Myatt's back into the front, then our onboard camera car runs in 2nd position. 3rd is the Cowling Belfield car, and then 4th is Sammy Fritley. Now they're going to Alec Graham's gone 5th position. He's got ahead of Matthew Hollis and ahead of the Story Machine. You see battles all the way down the field in Citreon 2CV racing. You have to come and watch the 24 hours at Snetterton. It's absolutely superb to watch these cars around there. I was there a couple of years ago, watched the first 8 or 9 hours of it, and now look, this is what you get for hours on end, side by side. Now Phil Myatt loses the lead. Now what can we think it's Ainsley Belfield driving that car that's now dropped down to 4th because Sammy Fritley goes past as well. It's a top 4 together. And now what's going to happen this time into Beckett's? get onto the brakes, down a gear, power back on, and no changes into there. What is normally in one make race a great place for passing is Beckett's, but in these cars it does not help you, because then you lose your momentum down the Wellington Straight, then down to Woodcote, and then down into Copse. So your best two places for a pass, and we're about to see it now. Phil Myatt, the ex-champion in Citreon 2CVs, makes his way up on the inside as they head down into Brooklands, and he goes through, and Sammy Fritley's also lost a position there to Ainsley Belfield, who runs out wide but stays there in a third position. So the four leaders all together then, nothing separating any of them. At this stage, with just under 15 minutes to go, we could not give any estimation to who will win it out of the four of them. At least you're in the leading pack going on to the last lap. You can still in a chance of winning it. So what can Ainsley Belfield do? So they head down to Copse Corner. Last time I remember we saw Phil Myatt lose the lead, so I wonder if he will do the same this time. Let's have a look. No, looks like Myatt still leads there. Now Sammy Fritley now starting to lose the back of Belfield, which is absolutely disastrous, because then you lose the slipstream, then you lose more time. But I'm sure she'll do her best to get back on the tail of Belfield. I can tell you that we still have all 21 cars that started in the race as we turn through Beckett. Completely different lines there, both cars trying to get the best run onto the straight as possible. And definitely Sammy Fritley starting to lose time now. She'll have to try hard to get back with the top three. 1 minute 27s. These two CVs lapping him around the Silverstone circuit, which is an average speed, quite incredible in these cars, an average speed of 67 miles per hour. But we're going to have a change for the lead, are we? No, Phil Myatt just about holds. And we got a car to lap in a moment. And then we turn through the right hand, up on the inside, there goes Myatt. Then goes Rumble to Carroll, we think it's Randall. And then through goes Belfield. They're about to cross the line. We have about 13 minutes of the race to go. Back on board we go then. And going as close to the quarter markers as possible. Ainsley Belfield. And we head now down towards the right-hander at Copse Corner. Just started to eke away now. Is our on-board camera of, I think it's Rundle at the wheel. Head now down towards Beckett's. The car that was lapped, it was a car that actually started from the pits, we think. Richard Hollis. I'll go back to what I was saying, I was at the 24 hours a couple of years ago now. And for the first 2 hours of the race, before the first pit stops were made, the top two stayed together within at least 1 second for the whole of the first 2 hours, which shows you how competitive 2CV racing is. I think it was one of these Tete Rouge cars. I think it was Phil Myatt, in fact, that was driving. The car actually broke down after 2 laps. Not exactly what you want, but speedy engine changes you see in these 2CV machines. They do them in about 10 minutes. Well, Alec Graham coming through the pack. He's got ahead of Sammy Fritley. What did I say about Sammy Fritley losing the slipstream? It was disastrous, and it is. She's down to 5th position now. Matthew Hollis just holding them off in 6th behind. Attached to his rear bumper is Story. Meanwhile, you can see how close Belfield gets here, and they're both gone past Phil Myatt as they head into Copse Corner. Down to 3rd goes Myatt, but Myatt knows his legs as he keeps hold of the slipstream. He will be okay. Next round in 4 weeks' time for the 2CV Championship will take place at Mullery Park, live on Motors TV, Bank Holiday Monday of the Golden Jubilee weekend. So, just drifted out there, almost 4 wheels over the wide line there for what we think is Belfield in the Team Gadget racing car. Now look, you can see the slipstream at work here. Through he goes then, up on the inside line, heading down to Brooklands, and they get onto the brakes now then, and you can clearly see that we have a new race leader. The number 8 machine. Now can Phil Myatt make his way through. Behind though, great scrap for 6th position. Matthew Hollis just in front of Story. They're going to go 3 wide into Luffield now. Incredible there. And just barging him out the way, Story out the way there was Glenn Oswin, but then getting past both of them. Yes. Now who was that? Gaining 2 places in 1 there was the car, the North Wilder and a Finch car, that was. Right, you can see Phil Myatt now goes through into 2nd, and into the lead goes Randall. All cars very wide through cops there, but you can see how close Phil Myatt is. We can't even see the front of his car. I say, great on board footage here. Down again. Oh, a bit sideways for Phil Myatt. Just car just getting away ever so briefly from me. Caught it nice and early before he lost lots of momentum down this hugely long straight it seems to be in these 2CVs. Now, are we going to get any bump drafting, I wonder? He's getting closer and closer. Surely he must be pushing him now. Ooh, American bump draft style racing makes the cars go quicker. So the 3 leaders are then all together still. Wouldn't be surprised if this is like this to the end of the race. We've only got 9 minutes to go. So in that case, not long, that is, at all. So drivers start thinking about where their best opportunity will be to win the race. Well, that would be made last lap out of Beckett's, I'd have thought. Do they go past into Brooklands, or do they go past into out of Luffield into Woodcote and across the line for the last time? So Phil Myatt pushing our onboard camera, I reckon, down to Beckett's. Interesting look on the mirror there. Driver side mirror a lot higher up than passenger side. Now Ainsley Bellsfield starting to perhaps lose the top 2 slipstream. We'll really see as they head into Brooklands next time, and here surely Mike's going to have a go here. Or is what Phil Myatt doing here? We say he's won championships before in a Citreon 2CV. Is he bump drafting our leader down all the straights? So it's a 2-horse race at the end. I think that might be exactly what he's doing. Look at Bellsfield, he can't keep up now. Top 2 cars working as one. And look, Phil Myatt making sure he gets the best one out of the corner so he can push the leader down the straight. Let's see if this is exactly what happens this time. And let Bellsfield trying his best to get the good run, but just running out of grip. These ever so thin tyres that Citreon 2CVs run on. This scrap continues with Glenn Oswin running at the front of it. Now let's see what Phil Myatt does here. Again pushing, not to find a way through as they fly past the back marker into Cop's corner then, and Myatt almost letting the car get away from him there. As you can see, he's dropped time there. That could allow Ainsley Bellsfield back in the hunt for the victory. 7 minutes to go here at Silverstone. Through Beckett's then, and Bellsfield just does appear to be losing time. So it's not exactly what he will want, but it looks like that is what will happen. So down into Brooklands then, they've gone past the vehicle bridge, down into Brooklands we go then. And through Luffield, and the 2 leaders absolutely together still. Nothing separating the 2 of them. And continuing here in the battle for 6th position. Glenn, is it 6th? Yes, because Matthew Hollis has fallen behind Oswin now, which is interesting to see. Now back with the leaders, heading down to Cop's corner, and Phil Myatt still right there, pushing the leader along, and then the cars just drift out a touch wide as they headed through Cop's corner. Into Beckett's then for another time for the leaders. Hill not far behind. It is Ainsley Belfield there. 5 minutes to go or so now here in the Citreon, the ECAS 2CV Parts.com Championship. Phil Myatt still seems to be playing the work together game at the moment to get away from Ainsley Belfield. So on the last lap, it's only the two of them, but Belfield's coming back at them, I reckon. So it may not be over just as of yet. And Alec Graham runs out wide. Sammy Fritley comes through. Sammy Fritley up into 4th position again. So that battle has been continuing. We haven't seen much of it. The battle for 4th has been going though for the majority of the race. Now, this battle for 6th has split into pairs. Meanwhile, leaders, here we go, into Cops, and still no sign of Phil Myatt trying to find a way through for the lead. Although he does take a tighter line through Cops' corner that time. Still, it's not an evident look past the race leader. It's a pass on the Hollises, I think. That is Nigel Hollis, I think. That they no, I think in fact it's Richard Hollis. They've lapped for a 3rd time, but he started from pit road. Right, oh, they're going past lots of cars now. And that's the Wilmot and Thompson car. Another car that's had a problem at some point because that is they're 5 laps down now. So into Copperton, look at Belford having to go up the inside line of the back markers, taking lots of speed through Brooklands and edging his way up onto the tail of the top 2. It's going to be hard for them to shake him off now with about 3 minutes of the race to go. Fritley still ahead of Graham, but Graham getting that tighter line onto the straight. And here comes the battle for the lead then. Can Myatt find a way through? Not as of yet. Ainsley Belfield, I just fear for him that he's not going to be quite close enough to get the slipstream on the last lap enough to take victory here. So into Beckett's. What Belfield needs is the top 2 to start trading positions, and I don't think that's going to happen. Look now, Myatt though has at some point obviously it's going to happen because Myatt wants to win this one this side. Though Myatt has a really good run onto the Wellington straight, but it still appears he's playing the, like I say, the work together game until the last lap, which is soon approaching. Here they turn then, and is Myatt looking for a way through? Still not as of yet. They're going on to the last lap though, so Myatt soon got to think about where, perhaps he's been planning it though, because we know every time onto the Wellington straight he's pushing the leader down the straights, so it may well be into Brooklands for the final time where we see a change for the lead. Meanwhile, Alec Graham's not waiting to that point. He's gone back ahead of Fritley to go for 4th position. He started to get a car length over her now, but then Fritley comes back at him through the corner and right onto the tail, the car in front. Sammy Fritley, another person that's won the championship, so knows exactly what she's doing. Although not having her best race today, running down in 5th. Now Belfield's dropped off the top 2, so Phil Myatt, where are you going to make the move? Let's see. I doubt it's into Beckett's, but you never know. Well, it certainly doesn't look like the move's going to be into Beckett's, does it, as they turn through the corner. They stay as the same. Now, this is going to be the big moment for Phil Myatt. Will it be the... Now, how defensive is Randall going to go? Well, not very. Now, perhaps Phil Myatt hasn't been bump drafted, and perhaps this is how close he can get. Well, I would have thought by now he would have moved up on the inside line. I'm not sure perhaps he doesn't know it's the last lap of the race because he's not attacked at all going through Birkelands. I would have expected him to at least just tried. So this is going to be a huge opportunity now for the 57 car to take their first victory. I think it's their first victory for them if they can make it now to the end, because Phil Meyer's going to have to find a way through. Let's see if he wants to win this very shortly, because the checkered flag is very soon out of Woodcote. He's not even trying to get alongside. He does now, but that's too late. They've passed the checkered. It's just a victory there for the Davies and Randall car by 1/10 of a second. I'm really not sure though if Phil Meyer didn't know that was the last lap of the race. Then Ainsley Belfield took third.